Greetings, RC model geeks, and here we are in the shed yet again for part 38 of the Sarik Hobbies de Havilland, Canada Chipmunk build. So, what should we look at today? Undercarriage. Right, I have acquired some undercarriage legs, and there is one, spring loaded, and we will be fitting that to the undercarriage legs. Now, I've also laid my hands on some new wheels. But not just any old wheels. Oh, they've got a wire. They're magnetic brake wheels. So, we're going to fit them onto that, and away we go. We have a pretty nice scale looking undercarriage. With a braking. Now, it's not differential braking. It's basically it brakes them both, or it doesn't. Minor problem. I mean, you can buy another controller board that comes with them, and then wire that into two channels. But as they come, as far as I know, this is not differential braking. Anyway, I could only get these in 3.5 inch wheel size, and our wheels are 3 inch, and therein lies a problem. So we've got to convert this 3.5 inch wheel to 3 inch. Now we've got a donor wheel here. This is one of those Sullivan skylight wheels, and what we're going to do is rip this hub apart. As you can see, it's got 3 bolts. We can take that hub apart, remove that tyre, and then what we've got to do is drill this plastic hub out, fit that onto the new hub, do it back up, Bob's your uncle. We have a 3 inch wheel. So that is the plan for the day. Roll of honour for the day, thanks to James. Thanks, James, for your donation to the big shed. Much appreciated. And as I keep saying, generosity of people on this channel is amazing. Now, somebody commented that I putting the motor in backwards. Now, I mean, I don't know if you think I'm stupid or something, but it certainly was not in backwards. You've just obviously not lived and actually experienced different kinds of motors and stuff like that. Because this motor here, yeah, it's got a shaft sticking out the back, but it accepts that prop adapter on the front. So it ain't the wrong way round. There you go. Words fail me. So many experts out there. It's unbelievable. Right, on with this wheel. Okay, so I've got the old hub out. Basically, I just sort of drilled the centre of it and then got a pair of pliers and pulled it through. And that is what you end up with. So that is a good 3 inch wheel. The next thing you have to do is get this hub apart. Now, this hub is quite a pain to put back together. I can tell you. But right, we'll undo the screws here. And there's 3 screws that hold this hub. And of course that last one is already shagged and it's brand new. Hey, that's Hobby King quality for you. Never one to not put out a duff product. Right, I'm gonna have to see if I can find a better Allen key to fit in there, and I'll be back with you in a minute. Finally got that last screw out, and it's completely shagged. Felt like it was made of aluminium. So there we go, that comes off of there. And there is the central mechanism, and that just falls out of there. So there is our hub, like that. So now we've got 2 wheels, but one problem: the hole in the centre isn't big enough. There is no way that that hub is going through there. So what I'm going to do, I've got a step drill. I'm going to put that in the into the pillar drill, and I'm going to use the step drill. I'm going to go through and drill this rubber out. It's not rubber, is it? It's foam and plastic and whatever they've made it of. But yeah, we're going to put the step drill through there, open up that hole to a size that will accept that hub. Okay, here we are at the pillar drill. 1 donut, 1 drill. And we're going to basically drill down through. Well, we would do if it actually fitted. We'll cheat. It's only a bit of foam. Let's bring it up like that. See, that's opening up quite nicely. I'll just get the hub and check that it fits. Here, she's pretty good. Could do with a tad more off her maybe, but not much. Let's try that now. Sort of goes in, still a little bit tight. Just keep on going for a little bit. This hub is going to grip the wheel quite well anyway when it squashes together. So we can remove quite a lot of it. Right. I say that is pretty good now. Goes in, comes out. We'll just give it one more for luck. Always good to give it one more for luck. There we go. Let's try that now. Drops in there, beautiful. So that's it. So back to the bench to, well actually we've got to find a screw now to screw it together. And then we've got to clamp it together because it's got to be squashed right up. So we'll use 3 clamps on this to squash the plate in before we put the screws in. Right, so what have I done? Yeah, clamped the 2 halves of the hub together, so it's compressed the tyre, and then I can get the screws into it. I've got rid of the original cap head bolts that were in there. They were just shit, really crap quality. They felt like aluminium, they're so soft. So I've got rid of them, and where I'd bought loads and loads of M2 screws, I just happen to have some that size. They're a little bit long, and you can't have the screws poking through the inside of the hub because they will rub on the magnetic brake, which is this thing here, and they'll basically end up rubbing around that potted area. So if you do take one of these apart, you've got to make sure if you replace the screws that the screws don't stick out inside here, otherwise you'll just shag your magnetic brake. So my screws are a little bit long, but what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put a washer under the head of the screws, and I've already done that on 2 of those there, and that will just space it off enough so that it won't protrude through. And I'm just looking for my washers that I've now lost. I've got a whole pack of them here, mind you, but I've already got them out. Right. See if I can get another one out of the packet. There we go. So we're going to drop that washer in there, and then drop this screw in with a screwdriver. And that is going to go right in there, and hopefully be screwed up. Not literally, of course, but let's get it going. There she goes. So that is our hub screwed back together, and then we can remove these clamps and there we have a very nice wheel, and you wouldn't know that that had been buggered around with. So there's also a shaft that goes in. There's no real bearings. There's just a brass bearing in there. There's no real bearings in in these, but you know, it's a minor problem. I think you could probably retrofit them. I'm not going to have a go at it, but I think you could do it. Right, so we've got a shaft here. That shaft goes through the hub there and sticks out, and then this drops down on it. There's a flat on these shafts that they supply. There it is, it's right there. And obviously one of the grub screws down onto that flat. There we go. Just like that. Just like that. Right, and then we're just going to do it back up. Should really put my glasses on when I do this kind of stuff. I might be able to see. Right. There we go. Now I might actually try to see what this braking is actually like on these. Like I said, it's magnetic braking rather than, you know, physical friction braking. So we'll have to see how good it is. Right, there we go. That's as good as it gets. And then that shaft there is going to go through the oleo leg. When I can find it. Can't be that far away, can it? Right, I'll come back to you when I found the oleo leg. Right, so there is the wheel on the oleo. These are quite nice oleos, actually. They're only like they're sprung. It's got a spring up them. But yeah, they're not bad, and they just bolt onto your piano wire leg. They've just got some grub screws there, so you put a flat on your piano wire, screw that up, Bob's your uncle, there is your wheel assembly. So next thing to do is we're going to put some black heat shrink over this cable here where it's going to run up the inside of the leg. That'll just make it look like it's brake pipe. So yeah, that's the next thing to do. Now to do that, I've got some heat shrink here. There it is. But of course it won't fit with that connector on there. So we've got to take that connector off. Now, to remove these connectors, or remove the pins out of them, this is the same as a servo connector. Hopefully it will focus on that. There's a little tang here, if you've never done it before. There's a little tang right there. There's two of them, and what you need is like a blade or something just to hook underneath and lever up the little tang, and then Bob's your uncle, you can pull it out. There you go, one like that. Of course, when you do this, you want to remember which way round they went. There's the second one, boom. So we've got that out. Then we will grab a piece of heat shrink and slide it over those two connectors there. There we go. And we can slide that down. Hopefully it won't get stuck. It's a little bit tight, but she will go. There it goes. And it should be coming out the end any minute. There we go. There's the two connector ends. Slide that down all the way to the end, and then what we'll do is we'll just heat shrink that, or heat it rather, not heat shrink it. So we'll get a bit of tension on it with a hot air gun. All the way up, all the way down. There you go. So there is our fake brake pipe. So the next thing we want to do is we've got to hold this onto the oleo leg. Actually, the other thing I want to do, I want to rotate this around a little bit. I don't want the wire to come out the top there, I want it to come out the back. So I just need to slacken this off again. We need to get that in the right position. So I want it really to come out the back. Let me just get it the right way round, which way it's going to go on the plane. That's it. So I want it to come out the back of the hub, that wire, like that. And then we'll do this back up. Okay, and then like I said, we want we're going to have a little bit of a loop there to allow for the movement of the oleo leg, and then we want to fix that wire to the oleo leg. Now the way we're going to do that is we heat shrink again, and we're going to use some big black heat shrink. If I can find some in my stash. Which is here. And we're going to need 3 pieces of a heat shrink. We'll use my small scissors for this. And we just need 3 little tubes of heat shrink cut off like that. Okay, now there's only one problem with this heat shrink: it doesn't fit over the leg. Yeah, see that? It's a little bit tight. Now I haven't got any that's a little bit bigger than this. I've got a heat shrink that's a lot bigger, which would be too big, but I haven't got the right size. But what you can do, another top tip, you can stretch the heat shrink tube. Alright, so I'm just going to put a pair of pliers through it like that, and then I'm going to pull it apart and stretch it. Okay, then Going to slide it down and over the leg. There you go. Now it will shrink up a little bit by itself, you know, so you've got to get it on there pretty quick. But there you go, that is now on there. And it's just the same thing again. So you know, I just put a pair of pliers through and I'm going to pull it apart, stretch it, shove the wire down it, once it goes through, come on. You just don't want to play ball, does it? Boy. You just don't want to play ball. There we go. Right, there's the second bit. Yeah, and we'll do one more at the very top. Now you can make this heat shrink quite thin. You know, I've probably made it wider than it needs to be. But yeah, you can make it much thinner. I mean, you could use cable ties, but the cable ties won't really look sort of scale. You know, because they're so big. So just a little bit of heat shrink works just as well. There we go. So let's slide these into their right places. That's it. And then we'll heat shrink them back onto there. Right. Bit of heat. Bit of heat. Bit of heat. There you go. So there is our leg with our fake pipe all ready to go on the plane. So we've just got to put this connector back in here. Now there was a mark on here, had a triangle to mark pin 1, and it was red that went to that triangle mark that's on these. And you just push them back in, make sure they're the right way round. Push them back in, boom, Bob's your uncle. Connector back together. So that is now looking pretty damn good, actually. There's the suspension on it. Let's give it a press. It's quite hard suspension. You could probably take this apart and change the tension on the spring. There's a screw that you can take out and the whole thing will pop apart. And you can change the spring or shorten the spring or whatever you want. So final thing to do here, we've just got a little bit of axle sticking out. We can cut that off with a grinding wheel, and she's pretty close to being done. So I'm going to cut that off and come back to you. Okay, so there is the finished article, ready to go onto the wing. So I have the wing here. This is the next thing we're going to be working on, hopefully tomorrow. But I thought I would just drop this in there so we all get a feel for how it's going to go. And there, well, not easy to show you, but slight lack of room, but there it is on the plane, and that wire will just drop through the wing and then plug into the controller that you get. Here it is with it. So yeah, there it is. There's the other one, looking pretty damn good, I say. Yeah, very realistic. And as I'm going for the prototype Chipmunk, those undercarriage legs are pretty damn close to it. Yeah, so let's have a quick look at this controller, shall we? That came with the braking system. It goes off to your receiver there. Got the connections for the left and the right brake there, and it's also needs a power feed, which is there. It takes up to about an amp, I think. Let's have a look. There are some instructions here. Electrical magnetic brake system, operational manual, and it takes current, I lie, half an amp is what it takes. Whether that's per side, who knows. But there is the info. Look, they even give you some torque curves. That's how accurate it is, eh? Oh yeah. But like I said, it doesn't do differential braking, as far as I know. I can't see how it would do differential braking, because you've only got one input, so it's either on or off. But it's better than nothing, and you never know. If I can lay my hands on another controller, then we could do differential braking. So that's it for the day. Yes, there is no more. I quickly knocked down this this spinner to get it a bit more to the shape we want. That's a work in progress, but it will start to look like the spinner that you actually do have on a Chipmunk. So, yeah, like, comment and subscribe. Don't forget to have a look at Sarik Hobbies website. They've got loads of stuff on there, loads of plans, loads of plan packs, boats, hovercraft in fact as well, and some train stuff. Yeah, they sell glues and other things as well. And don't forget the Big Shed Fund, that is coming along quite nicely. We're not far off £2,000. So yeah, looking good. Let's keep it going. We can do this. We can have a nice big shed. We can do bigger and better videos, better camera angles, all that kind of stuff. We just can't do that kind of thing in this limited space that we have. So the Big Shed Fund, link is in the description. Go and have a look at that. And I'll see you all, don't know, maybe tomorrow. I've got some things to do for people, so it might not be, but we'll see how it goes. So see you all then. Bye.
Thank you for watching Captain Rob's RC Model Geeks. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to click that like button. If you want to see more of the same type of videos, don't forget you can subscribe. If you want to support us, you can use PayPal, paypal.me/RC Model Geeks. If you want to contact us, you can email us rcmodelgeeks@gmail.com. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.